Thank you. Thank you, senior leadership team, those of you who are here and those online. We will now begin the formal business of the 141st Annual General Meeting and will propose resolutions for your consideration and approval. For approval of resolutions, I ask that you state your name and identify yourself as a member. I invite Ms. Cynthia Lawrence of KPMG, auditors for the Society, to present the auditor's report and statement of accounts. Cynthia.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. And I'll be presented a shorter version of the auditor's report for you today. Independent auditor's report to the members of Victoria Mutual Building Society. Report on the audit of the financial statements. Opinion. We have audited the separate financial statements of the Victoria Mutual Building Society, the Society, and the consolidated financial statements of the Society and its subsidiaries, the Group, set out on pages 65 to 168, which comprise the Group's and Society's statements of financial position as at December 31, 2019, the Group's and Society's income statements, statements of comprehensive income, changes in capital and reserves and cash flows for the year then ended, and notes comprising significant accounting policies and other explanatory information. In our opinion, the financial statements give a true and fair view of the financial position of the Group and the Society as at December 31, 2019, and of the Group's and the Society's financial performance and cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with international financial reporting standards. The basis for our opinion. We conducted our audit in accordance with International Standards on Auditing, ISAs. Our responsibilities under those standards are further described in the auditor's responsibilities for the audit of the financial statement section of our report. We are independent of the Society in accordance with the International Ethics Standards Board for Accountants Code of Ethics for Professional Accountants, IASBA Code, and we have fulfilled our other ethical responsibilities in accordance with the IASBA Code. We believe that the audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. I'll read a report on additional matters as required by the Building Societies Act. We have examined the mortgage deeds and other securities belonging to the Society. Title deeds numbering 8,101 were produced to us and actually inspected by us, and we are satisfied that the remaining 174 deeds not inspected by us were in the hands of attorneys or elsewhere in the ordinary course of business of the Society. In our opinion, proper accounting records have been kept, and the financial statements which are in agreement therewith are duly vouched and in accordance with law. KPMG Chartered Accountants, Kingston, Jamaica, March 31, 2020. Thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia. We now move to the chairman's report, or rather the director's report read by the chairman. I like to think of it like that, right, directors? Let me just, I'm not sure what's going on here. So, we're very, very pleased with 2019. I think we can all say on balance that we had a very good year for the Society. The Group recorded a net surplus of $2.13 billion, which was an increase of 101% when compared to the previous year. Total assets were $244 billion, an increase of 16% compared to the previous year as well. This achievement of such an increase in our profitability as well as our asset growth comes in a context of sustained global growth of 2.9%, and local improvements in our economy as well. We had the unemployment rate, as most of you may know, trending downwards to historical lows. We had also low and sustained inflation as well, trending to 5%. And these sort of indicators were a positive signal for us to move forward in terms of our planning and our execution. So those kinds of signals led us to be bold in our current businesses, in the execution of our current businesses. Not just bold, but VM bold. And ambitious, not just ambitious, but VM ambitious in charting new opportunities. So it was in the context of that economic environment that we were able to launch a number of new products. We had, over the year, a 100% mortgage financing solution, which was the first ever such program. And this really resonated with us because it meant a lot for our drive to financial inclusion. We were able to open commercial auto loans, helping to mobilize a number of small businesses with that type of mechanism. And we created US equities trading for our wealth management customers. We also expanded a number of our branches, expanded our branches for our wealth management subsidiary, and expanded our branches in terms of our money transfer outlets as well, and deepened our real estate lending in the United Kingdom. Additionally, we were also able to acquire 30% in the Bayesian fintech, Carryland. And this, we think, is going to be the start of a brand new experience in lending across the Caribbean, certainly in Jamaica as well. And so we're looking forward to our role in that fintech. So those were really the highlights of achievements that you would have seen in the media, perhaps. But I would also say that in tandem with all of those growth items on the previous slide, we continue to strive relentlessly to improve your experience when dealing with us as your financial service provider. Our strategy setting and drive for a culture of high performance is centered on improving customers' outcomes. To that end, we very much look forward to receiving feedback from you through the numerous quality surveys conducted by management. And I want you to know that we are indeed paying attention. So the story, I would say, behind such dynamism achieved in 2019 is related to the improving local context as we discussed, but it is also related to all those years when we have come here to the AGM and talked about prudence and conservatism in our outlook. Through those years, we have been able to develop a robust governance framework and effective risk management structure, which serves us in good times, but prepares us for turbulent times as well. And here, I think you can see on the next slide that the four tenets that we discharged in terms of oversight responsibility: strategic planning, talent management, financial performance, risk management, and compliance. Those are really the four pillars on which the board discharges oversight responsibilities and creates the framework and guidance for management to execute effectively and give you all those wins that Courtney is going to tell you more about as we go on. So in that area of risk management, in 2019, we strengthened our enterprise risk management framework. We fortified our monitoring and reporting of the top risk profiles and implemented the process for detecting emerging risks. Not very sexy, but very, very important, right? In 2020, we will further improve our preparation for crisis management, continue to enhance business continuity planning with a focus on IT recovery, and review operational risk areas, including client service, delivery, succession planning, and capital expenditure. So as you can tell, of course, if it's one thing that 2020 has taught us, it's the word resilience. And so I think those elements are all moving in that direction to ensure that we remain resilient for some time. If you could back up. I think you're going a little fast. She's at, well, we're at the end. So we were talking about resilience, right? And for me, this is the picture of resilience, or the picture of why resilience is needed. You see where the ball is, you see where the bat is. And it's not just VM, I think many of us have been experiencing this same situation. But I'll tell you something. Here's my idea of resilience. If he was crisis planning, then we know he's protected from in the dressing room, right? Yeah. Men, you know that? Yeah. Right. Okay. And while he can't totally avoid the blow, if he was practicing to be agile, as we have been, maybe he was able to take the blow on his thigh and nowhere else, right? We don't want to. So afterwards, maybe he can't go on to make a century like he planned, but he can contribute a 50. Yeah. Maybe with a runner, because we're going to need a runner. Right. Anyway, and better yet, he would be well enough to bat again in the second innings and go on to make his century. So that's the importance of resilience, preparation, and planning. Next slide, please. So your group is indeed focused on resilience to ensure we will be there for you in good times and bad, and to continue to build a more inclusive Jamaica through engineering financial inclusion, delivering on financial literacy, and being a model corporate citizen. The VM Group was established to help build Jamaica as a more inclusive society, and we remain steadfast in the belief that we can help anyone achieve their financial goals, regardless of social class or background. Our role as directors is to ensure that structures are in place to ensure resilience, even in light of unprecedented global and local challenges. This resilience, forged through sound strategy and governance practices, will enable VMBS to continue to be champions for the promotion of those same tenets, financial literacy, financial inclusion, as we work to fulfill our purpose, to build you a better financial future. So a great big thank you to our team members for the very good year that we think we had last year, but also for the groundwork that they have been doing for this year and onwards. We are grateful to have our members as a trusted lifelong partner in the financial journey, and we want you to know that we are your champions and we are here for you. So thank you. That's the end of the message. So now I would like to open the floor for discussion and questions on the report, both the auditor's report as well as the director's message. No questions? Okay, moving right along. We move to the resolution for approval of the director's report and statement of accounts. So I would like to move the motion for the approval and adoption of the auditor's report, statement of accounts, and director's report. I ask a director to second this motion. Thank you, Jeannie. Members, the motion for the approval and adoption of the auditor's report, statement of account, and director's report is before you. The online voting instructions should appear on screen for voting. We will allow 5 minutes for voting to be completed and then announce the results. For the floor, all in favor? Aye. Any against? So we'll wait for the voting of the online members as well. Check. Is my mic still on? You can hear my mic? My mic. My microphone. You can hear it? Your timing. We'll get a cue on the 5 minutes.
Jamaica, and I said, smile, girl, smile, smile, and I said, smile, girl, smile, ooh, Lord, smile for me, Jamaica, and never you cry, here am I, yeah, I'm here for you, Jamaica, dry your eyes, girl, smile, smile for me, Jamaica, Lord. She have a rich history, a beautiful woman with the sweetest gifts. Beautiful sunrise and an evening kiss of a nice sunset on the evening season. But she tell me, say she tired of the exploit and the liars. She give them reggae, give them beaches, give them flowers and the ferns. All she got is abuse in return. But I say, don't you worry yourself, mama. Hey, Chronics is here to your help, mama. Ooh, I said no worry yourself, mommy. One thing me I beg you do for me. And I said smile, girl, smile. Smile for me, Jamaica. And I said smile, girl, smile. Hey, smile for me, Jamaica. Never you cry, here am I. Girl, I'm here for you, Jamaica. What must I try? Oh my, that she asks me, and this I want me say. A sweet, sweet Chronics, you figure give them. The one drop beat pan a rhythm. Are you give them bob with a different step in? Are you give them bolt, nobody can run left him. Boy, but see ya, they must see things say you're out of ideas. You give them art and sweet literature. You gonna make the world see the better picture. I said no worry yourself, mama. Chronics is here to your help, mama. Hey, I said no worry yourself, mommy. One thing me I beg you do. And I said smile, yeah, smile, boy. Smile for me, Jamaica. And I said smile, girl, smile. Wah, 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 wah. For me, Jamaica. Never you cry. Here am I, whoa. For me, Jamaica. And I said smile, boy. When I look at where I'm coming from, I know I'm blessed, and I close my eyes and smile. Sometimes I feel like the richest man in Babylon, and I've done my best, so everything's alright inside. Oh, every morning, I rise, I stare at the sun. I know it is a blessing. So when the evening comes, I lift up my eyes to the hills, I'm blessed, oh man. With my two hands in the air, as far as I can.
Okay, before we get the results from online, I'm just going to read another resolution for our consideration as well, so we can get them going simultaneously in the interest of time. So the second resolution for consideration is the re-election of directors. Mrs. Sandra Shirley Oxley and Mr. Matthew Wright retire in accordance with the provision of Rule 59(1), and they, being eligible, offer themselves for re-election. May I ask a member to move the resolution for the re-election of Mrs. Sandra Shirley Oxley and Mr. Matthew Wright to serve as directors of the society for another year and for another 2 years, and another member to move this, to move the second, or to second the motion. So a member to move, you have to stand and give your. Thank you, and Courtney. So members on the floor, all in favor? All against? Okay, so that one we'll also wait for the online as well. Should I go on to the third, or? Okay, so number 3 is the resolution for the election of a director. This is not a re-election, this is an election. Pursuant to Rule 60, Mr. Michael McAnuff-Jones has been appointed to the board since the last AGM and will retire from office, and being eligible, offers himself for election. May I ask a member to move the resolution for the election? Courtney, you're hogging the voting. Okay, no, thank you.
Sir.
And seconded. Suzanne Kidd seconds the motion. From the floor, all members in favor? All against? And again, we'll wait for the online. So number 4, at the last AGM, Mr. Nigel Chambers and Ms. Nissa Johnson were appointed auditors to hold office until the next AGM. These are the auditors from KPMG, Pete Marwick, KPMG. Their terms have expired, and so may I ask a member to move the resolution for the appointment of KPMG auditors to serve as auditors of the society, and the remuneration to be fixed by directors of the society at such time. A member to move? Brian moves. Mr. Gibbs seconds. All in favor? All against? Thank you. Okay, so we'll wait for our online votes to come in for those resolutions. Thank you.
And I've done my best, so everything's alright inside. Oh, every morning, I rise, I stare at the sun. I know it is a blessing. So when the evening comes, I lift up my eyes to the hills, I'm blessed, oh man. With my 2 hands in the air, as far as I can. Stare at the sun, I know it is a blessing. Yeah. Lift up my eyes to the hills, I'm blessed, oh man. Ooh. Sometimes I'm lost and far from home, but I'll find my way. I follow my heart, I know I'll be found someday. While I'm lost, I learn and live. What do you say? Let's have a good time until that day. Oh, every morning, I rise, I stare at the sun. lift up my eyes to the hills, I'm blessed, oh man. With my two hands in the air as far as I can. Yeah, as far as I can. I can, yeah. My two hands in the air as far as I can. With my two hands in the air as far as I can. Yeah, as far as I can. I can, yeah. My two hands in the air as far as I can. When I look at where I'm coming from, I know I'm blessed, and I close my eyes and smile. Sometimes I feel like the richest man in Babylon, and I've done my best, so everything's alright inside. Oh, every morning, I rise, I stare at the sun. I know it is a blessing. So when the evening comes, I lift up my eyes to the hills, I'm blessed, oh man. With my two hands
So we
in the
now
air
have the
as
results for
far as I
resolution 1 on the screen.
can. As far as I can.
Yes. It's not here, though. So the microphone, yes? The motion for the approval and adoption of the auditor's report, statement of account, and director's report has carried from the floor as well as online with 33 votes in favor and none against. Thank you, members. Next.
Resolution number 2.
Resolution number 2 for the re-election of Mrs. Sandra Shirley Oxley and Mr. Matthew Wright to serve as directors carries with majority from the floor, or no dissensions from the floor, as well as online, 33 votes online as well. Thank you.
Resolution 3.
Resolution number 3 for the election of Mr. Michael McAnuff Jones to serve as the director of the society carries from the floor with no dissensions and online 30 votes in favor and none against. Welcome, Michael. Number 4, no. Yes, the resolution for the appointment of KPMG auditors to serve as auditors of the society and remuneration to be fixed by directors at such time carries the majority from the floor, no dissensions, and online 33 votes for and none against. So that's the formal business. At this time, I get now to introduce our tireless president to give you an update on the business activities for 2019. Please welcome Mr. Courtney Campbell.
Thank you, Chairman. Good morning, members and clients of the Victoria Mutual Group, those who are here with us, those who are online, those who are watching on JNN. I want to join the Chairman in welcoming you all to this 141st Annual General Meeting of the Victoria Mutual Building Society. Thank you for your loyalty and your support. It continues to be my privilege and honor to lead the highly engaged and purposeful team that manages Victoria Mutual. I want to thank the chairman and all the members of the board for the tremendous support and guidance that they continue to provide to me and to the wider management team of Victoria Mutual. In today's presentation, I will share reminders of who we are, our network, our products and services. I will also provide some details on the very pleasing 2019 performance by all business lines, plus updates on how we have executed on our 4 strategic goals. I will conclude with a brief update on 2020. So first of all, who we are, our strategic goals, core values, our vision, and of course, our purpose. Our purpose is the one I'd highlight, which is to empower our members globally to acquire their own homes and achieve financial independence. And the Victoria Mutual Group is a diverse financial group. We have Victoria Mutual Building Society is both the deposit-taking entity and right now the holding company of the group, and it has 7 immediate subsidiaries covering investments, pensions management, property services, money transfer. We have a subsidiary in the UK and the foundation. Of course, our affiliate companies include BCIC and the newly acquired affiliate, Caroland, that's based in Barbados. Where are we located? We're in 16 branches in Jamaica, 5 overseas representative offices. Our money services business has now 92 locations, including 5 Money Express stores. And Caroland, we mentioned, is based in Barbados. And you may be listening, and you currently have only 1 or 2 Victoria Mutual products. I thought we would take the opportunity to remind you that we have solutions for all life stages. And permit me to share a few highlights of what we offer to facilitate financial well-being, first for individuals and then for businesses. So for our youth, we have a Save to Grow account to teach them how to save. For college students, for those who need to receive money transfers, we have a wide range of money transfer solutions. For young adults, we offer our motor vehicle loans, our unsecured loans, and we help them to invest with our unit trust. And for those young adults who may be self-employed, we have pension programs for them. Those who are starting a family, we help to acquire their own homes and to build an equity portfolio. And what about those who are planning a nest egg, planning for the future, for the long term? First, we have cash-secured loans, construction loans, home equity loans, as well as investment solutions such as our iGain Edge and Moneymaker and the unit trust products. And we, very importantly, as you plan long-term, remember our pension products. And then when you get to retirement, we help our retirees to make the most of their retirement with some very attractive investment products. These are just some of the solutions for individuals, but for business clients, we are also very strong. We offer commercial mortgages, commercial motor vehicle loans, commercial property management, foreign exchange trading, insurance premium and lease financing, corporate finance services for those who would wish to raise equity and bond financing to grow your business, and of course, pension fund management and administration for your team. So that's what we offer, that's who we are, that's what we represent. Our financial performance in 2019 was very strong. We completed a highly successful year in many respects. We had a record net surplus of $2.13 billion, 101% greater than the result in 2018. Our assets, total assets on and off balance sheet assets ended the year at $244 billion. Our efficiency ratio was better than we had budgeted at 73.4%. our Net Promoter Score, which really is a measure of how we are delivering good customer experience across all our channels, was 50%, the highest it has been, and in fact, higher than we had targeted. And our Human Resource Engagement Index indicates that we have a highly engaged team, and that's why the productivity has been increasing. It was 73% in 2019 versus 72% the previous year. We continue to provide increased value to our members in Victoria Mutual. Our total member value, and how this is calculated, is the net surplus, as I said, of $2.13 billion, plus member benefits. Those are the discounts and waivers and so on that we offer because you are members of Victoria Mutual. And our total member benefits increased by 63.4% in 2019 to $2.25 billion. And you know what really delights us is that our membership is growing. We added over 7,600 active members in 2019. So now we have over 323,000 active members and clients in the Victoria Mutual Group. I mentioned about our increased net surplus. And let's look a little more deeply at that. So that increase from $1.06 billion in 2018 to $2.13 billion in 2019 was really composed of the following. Net interest income increased by $114 million. In fact, loan interest income increased by $481 million because our loan portfolio really had recorded excellent growth in 2019, but interest from investments actually fell by $255. So the net interest income moved up by $114 million. Net fees and commission income increased by $449 million. And so those are fees from booking loans, from our remittance business, from our unit trust portfolio, from our property services business, and from our capital markets business. FX trading gains increased by $484 million versus the previous year. And very importantly, because of the performance of the stock market in 2019, we had unrealized fair value gains on quoted equities and unit trust investments of $538 million. So those are the main revenue items that contributed to that movement in 2019, so that we ended the year with a net surplus of $2.13 billion. Thought we should share with you the contributions of the various SBUs, strategic business units, to the total net surplus of Victoria Mutual. And you'll see that on the screen that VMBS in 2019 contributed 64.3% of the net surplus. The average for the previous 5 years, their average contribution, VMBS, for the previous 5 years was 68.39. VMIL, with a previous average of 24.57, improved in 2019 to 27.62. And VM Money Services, that had an average contribution in the previous 5 years of 2%, 2.05%, actually contributed 3.73% in 2019. And well done to the Money Services team for that. In terms of our balance sheet movement, I think it's important to look both at our increases that were recorded in deposits and in loans. So loans increased in VM by 27% last year, and market actually grew by 17%. So we grew faster than the market. We added $13 billion to our loan portfolio, moving from $47 billion to $62 billion at the end of the year. Our deposits grew by $7.4 billion, again, accelerated rate of growth because the previous year we grew by $5.5 billion. And our asset growth, another chart showing you how our asset growth accelerated by growing by 16% in 2019 versus 12.6% the previous year. In terms of capitalization, VM Group is well capitalized. Yours is a strong institution. We ended the year with capital and reserves of $20.1 billion. So let's look at some highlights from our strategic business units, starting with the Building Society. The Building Society team, led by Peter Reed and Paul Elliott. Peter is online, Paul is here. They had a great year, increased surplus after tax by 77.8% to $1.39 billion. The loan portfolio in the building society increased by 20% to 58.9 billion. And very interestingly, in 2018, the building society team disbursed, and we're very pleased with this, disbursed $8.8 billion. In 2019, they almost doubled that figure, disbursing 15 billion Jamaican dollars. Total assets grew by 13% to 129 billion. And also, we had loans being booked from overseas because in our overseas offices in the UK and in the US booked 19.7 million pounds and 4 million US respectively, right? And did I say US? So that's the UK and the US, right? 19.7 million pounds and 4 million US dollars respectively. Now, the 19.7 million pounds includes 17 million pounds in specialized property development loans to experienced UK developers through our subsidiary VM Finance UK. The savings fund in VMBS also increased. It closed the year at $90 billion, up by 7.2 billion. And the capital adequacy ratio was 18.6, which is 8.6% above the required minimum, the regulatory minimum of 10%. Victoria Mutual Investments Limited. Now, this was the first year as CEO and Deputy CEO for Resworth Burchinson and Colanda Hutchinson, respectively, and they delivered record profit performance last year. The net profit after tax increased by 50.4% to $598 million. Fees from asset management grew significantly by 66%. And this is not on the slide, but I have to mention that the capital markets team in VM Wealth Management raised $16.2 billion for corporates and SMEs to finance their expansion. I think that's a good job by the team. Fees generated by that activity amounted to $518 million. So total assets in VMIL at the end of the year, 25.3 billion, up by 17%. And we're also very pleased that the VM Wealth Property Portfolio, the unit trust portfolio, was the top performing real estate portfolio in Jamaica last year with an annual return of 14.3%. And we think that's an excellent return. VM Pensions is led by Conroy Rose. It was his first year as CEO of VM Pensions, and the business performed well in several areas. Net profit after tax increased from 124 million to 136.8 million. Assets under management increased by 21% to $63.4 billion, and the number of lives being administered by the VM Pensions team increased to 7,958 members in 2019. And then VM Money Transfer, led by Michael Howard, who will raise his hand over here. That team continues to shine brightly in Victoria Mutual and brightly in the money services industry. They had a 45% increase in transaction volume, a 52% increase in related fees. The operating revenue increased by 45% to $337 million. And as I indicated to you, not only are they contributing more in terms of the net surplus of the VM group, but they are building market share. In 2017, the VM Money Services, the VM Money Transfer market share was 2.1%, and it's now 4.6% in 2019, and we think still growing. That's a real energized team that's delivering for us. VM Property Services is the last SBU I'll speak about. Michael Nita is the CEO of VM Property Services, and they too recorded record revenue growth in 2019 of 19.5% to end the year at $148 million. Had good revenue growth from property appraisals and from the realtor services, so we're pleased with the valuation business and our real estate business there. In 2016, members, we agreed and shared with you 4 strategic goals that would guide our actions in the period 2017 to 2020. And we now report on some highlights of how we have executed on these goals in 2019, starting with Modern Mutual. So what do we mean by being a modern mutual? It means that we're member-focused. It means that we are committed to remaining relevant, bringing to you products and services that you need. It means that we're going to be offering innovative products and services, and that we're committed to digital transformation. So starting with being member-focused and the value that we are bringing to our members, I think we'll just spend a little time reminding you of some of the benefits that you receive from being members of the Victoria Mutual Building Society. So first of all, VM Property Services, because you're a member, offers you 50% discount on valuations for mortgages. VM Wealth Management, because you're a member of this group, offers you reduced equity trading commission of 1.5% versus the standard rate of 2%. They also offer online trades at a commission of 0.75%. They offer a reduced margin loan interest rate of 10% versus the board rate of 11%. In VMBS itself, VMBS offers higher interest rate on mortgage savings products, which are the iSave for Home, competitive interest rates on mortgage loans, the 100% financing for self-employed persons, no fees at ABMs or point-of-sale terminals, no dormant accoutions have now joined us. We led the way. Hallelujah. And then VM Money Transfer Services offers the best payout rates. You should check the payout rate offered by some of the brands represented by VMBS, VM Money Transfer. So for example, this week in Jamaica, Zoom and Rhea, if you received your money transfer via any of those two brands and had your payout done at VM, you would have received an exchange rate of 138 Jamaican to 1 US. There are some players in the market offering people for the same US dollar 131 in the same week, on the same day. Please check the exchange rates that you are receiving for your remittances and speak to your family and friends overseas about that. That's a little tip from VM today. So we want to share those. That's part of our financial education, giving you information that empowers. All right? The VM Foundation also offers 4 scholarship programs for our members, for our young savers. Last year, a total of 62 scholarships were awarded. And then through BCIC, our affiliate, because you're members of VM, the BCIC offers a 10% discount on home insurance, a 30% discount on motor vehicle insurance for vehicles financed via the VM Drive Auto Loan, and especially for those when booked online through VMBS. So those are some of the benefits offered because you are members of Victoria Mutual. It's important that you understand what benefits are available to you so that you can avail yourselves of them. Continuing with our member focus theme, we provide need-based products, and we are introducing new products every year. So last year we introduced, as you've heard before, the 100% mortgage financing for specialized groups. We introduced in VM Wealth the US dollar equity unit trust. And at the end of the year, we introduced a commercial auto loan to provide access for SMEs for their commercial auto needs. And of course, in VM Pensions, we relaunched the approved retirement scheme. And through BCIC, you've heard about the MyDrive insurance package that is offered by our affiliate. Because we're member-focused, we continue to provide greater access to our members. So in 2019, we expanded our footprint. We opened a new state-of-the-art branch in Fairview, Montego Bay. We established a new representative office in New York. We renovated the Brixton office in London, and that's a picture of the Fairview office there for you. We established 4 new VMTS Money Express locations in Market Street, Montego Bay, Old Harbour, St. Catherine, Mandeville, and Savlamar in Westmoreland. And part of our member focus commitment is to cement our digital transformation strategy. We have a bold, ambitious digital transformation strategy, and we are executing on it. So in 2019, we expanded electronic access so that now 73.74% of all transactions are being done by electronic channels. We replaced the old ABMs. We installed 13 in 2019. That's in addition to the 6 that were already installed in 2018. We launched a new online banking platform. We did a pilot run in 2019, and we launched it to the public, to the wider public in 2020. And I would say to you, the mobile banking application is the best there is in Jamaica. I hope all of you are using it. We had a soft launch of VMIL's new online trading platform to allow for online equity trading. And part of our digital strategy is the whole matter of using the agile methodology. So we have 2 agile labs going, one for a disruptive mortgage experience and the other for a client management system in VM Wealth. And then we're member focused. So we ensure that our members enjoy the highest quality of customer experience. So we listen and we solicit feedback from our members. And we made significant progress toward the implementation in 2019 of a complaints management system to automate the management of all feedback received from our members and clients across the group. So Judith and Denise worked with the team in IT and the project management office, and it was launched on March the 31st of 2020. We also last year launched our group service charter so that members may be aware of the service standards to which we are committed. Now, members and clients, a central pillar of our Victoria Mutual strategic goal is the provision of financial education to help our members and clients improve their financial well-being. And we do that because we care. And however, it is more than about the strategic goal of Modern Mutual. It is fundamental to our purpose. And so I'm going to invite the excellent, our Chief Customer and Brand Officer, Judith Forth Blake, to tell you a little more about what we're doing with respect to financial education.
That was quite an introduction, Courtney. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a pleasant morning so far. All right, so VM's purpose, as our president shared, is to empower our members globally to achieve financial well-being. Excuse me, sorry. And in support of this, in 2019, we implemented an ongoing structured program to provide relevant and engaging financial content to our members and prospective members to help to guide them along their financial journey. We believe that this is a key differentiator for us because we do so out of genuine care for you, our members, and a sincere desire to help you to succeed. Our financial education program is executed in different ways and involves the staging of events, the use of publications, our campaign ads, the engagement of our student ambassadors, and it also influences the way in which our frontline teams interact with our members and clients on a day-to-day basis. Since 2019, we have staged a total of approximately 22 events impacting thousands of members and prospects. This includes 8 seminars held as a part of our Making Moves series, which is designed for groups of persons at similar life stages, such as tertiary students, married couples, and couples about to get married, etc. We also staged 2 major home and auto expos, 1 post-budget forum, which we did last year, 9 seminars under our signature Wealth Talk series from VM Wealth, as well as our annual pension seminar organized by VM Pensions Management in collaboration with the PSOJ. For 2020, due to the COVID pandemic and restrictions around public gatherings, all these events are now being held as webinars. And what we have now seen is that our events are attracting much larger and more global audiences. May I ask you to go back to the previous slide, please? I think you're ahead of me. Right. There's one event that I wanted to highlight from this list, which is our Home and Auto Expo. This is a VM group event, and even though we promote it as a home and auto event primarily, we also give investment advice from VM Wealth, as well as property-related advice from VM Property Services. We had 2 on-the-ground events planned for Kingston and Montego Bay for the first week of April this year, which had to be canceled due to the restrictions around COVID. Our marketing team reimagined the entire expo and was able to stage the very first digital home and auto expo across all VM social media channels on Sunday, June 7th. The digital event was not just only a first for VM, but an innovation in the local financial industry. The event attracted just over 13,200 views on Facebook, 2,700 on YouTube, 2,400 on Instagram, and we had 2,600 persons registered across Jamaica, UK, US, and Canada. And by registered, I mean that they provided us with their contact details so we could follow up with them. We also produced a vast amount of financial education content delivered by video or in written form for various target groups covering a wide range of subjects. These include monthly digital newsletters, a financial education blog, daily stock market updates, as well as video productions such as Making Sense, Financial Fridays, and Meet the Experts. Quality of these productions and have consistently received strong engagement levels. Next slide. Our VM Ambassadors Program, VM FET, was launched in December 2019 with 8 tertiary students who are trained by VM and given tools to share their knowledge with their peers. They also have a mandate to create opportunities for VM representatives to make financial education presentations to other students. And between February and May this year, we have had audiences of approximately 930 students. Next slide. We are also very deliberate about incorporating financial education tips in many of our ads, such as our popular iSave ad with our savings coach, Victor, as well as in some of our mortgage ads. Slide. Last, but by no means least, through our HR department, we have developed customized training programs that involve preparing our frontline teams to have needs-based, caring conversations to help our members and prospective members to choose the right products and services to improve their financial situation at an individual level. The program includes courses in emotional intelligence, the caring, product knowledge, and needs assessment training. And in 2019, 492 team members were exposed to the first phase of the training. If you'd indulge me for just another minute, I'd like to end by sharing an excerpt from an email sent from a VM member to our president recently. Since I didn't ask for permission to use what was written, I have left out the member's name and the branch. To give it context, this is from a member who wanted a loan but didn't think he could get a loan because of an issue he had with his credit. So now I'm quoting. What I saw as a hopeless situation was transformed by VMBS into a masterpiece of what true customer service entails and the standard at which all businesses should aspire. What was particularly impressive was the assistance and guidance given relating to my credit report. They both advised me, meaning the VMT members, to pull my report and gave me invaluable information concerning what I could do to improve my credit report. From their advice, I saw errors on my report, which I was able to dispute and have removed. There was also an outstanding balance on my report, which I was able to settle and subsequently got updated. The credit report updating got frustrating at times, but through it all, both men were such a calming influence and a constant voice of encouragement. When my loan was approved, both men called me and conveyed their congratulations. You could hear the genuine happiness for me in their voice, which really differentiates you from your competitors. VMBS went above and beyond their call of duty to assist me, and you should be proud of the excellent service these men are providing, end quote. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the difference VM strives to make in the lives of our members through our financial education program. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Judith. And you see what I meant, that she was excellent, or she is excellent. So that was our first strategic goal, Modern Mutual. And our second one is employer of choice. And we focus on employer of choice through 3 dimensions because we're trying to build a great place to work. And the 3 dimensions are culture and employee engagement, talent management, performance management, and reward and recognition. In terms of culture and engagement, we executed several initiatives to improve engagement levels among our team members and retain high potential team members. We targeted an engagement score of 75% and a participation rate of 80% in our HRAI survey. And really that represents a temperature check on the level of team member engagement across the group. The outcome of the 3rd wave of the 2019 survey, we achieved an engagement score of 74%, the highest engagement score since the survey began. The average for the year, as you see on the screen, was 73%, but these compare with the global average of 65% and 64% respectively for the North American region. So we're very pleased with our engagement levels, and we see it being reflected in our improved productivity. And then having a competent and engaged and accountable team drives our Great Place to Work agenda. In 2019, our team members were involved in the annual business conference. And in this business conference, last year, the theme was Igniting Purpose with Excellence. It's a forum for our leaders to share with all the team members the strategic direction and plans for the upcoming year, and for the team members to share feedback. And it's a real time of great excitement and high engagement. We also had some culture of accountability integration workshops and other activities leading to high engagement in the Victoria Mutual Group. In terms of talent management, we executed several talent management programs in order to develop and retain the talent pool. We had individual development plans for all our team members, career plans for critical positions and high potential talent, succession plans for senior leadership roles. Those are monitored by the board. We report to the board on how we're progressing with our succession plans. An accelerated development program for high potential team members. And as a result, we're very pleased to say that our retention rate for high potentials was 96% in 2019. In terms of performance, the 3rd dimension, performance management and reward and recognition, we executed several programs in this, but I just want to highlight the IMVM Awards that recognizes and rewards team members who demonstrate the VM Group's core values. And in this forum, I would want to congratulate the SBU of the Year 2019. That's the Building Society led by Peter Reed. Paul Elliott is representing the team in the room today. Clive Newman, Latoya Williams, Suzette Ramdana Linton, Simone George Davy, all the branch managers, the entire BSO team did a great job. And then the support unit of the year was our HR team, human resources team led by Lorraine Harrison, Dayton Robinson, and all the other team members there. And the branch of the year for Victoria Mutual, those of you who bank in Ocho Rios will be pleased to celebrate with that team, Charmaine McConnell Taylor and her team, right? So I want to congratulate them. Our third strategic goal is that of building a strong integrated financial group. And by that we mean that we should be focusing on consistent and prudent growth, that we would want to offer integrated services across the group and continuing to build our financial strength by excellent risk management. And the next slide will show you that we are more and more being integrated. The sales productivity has significantly increased in all business units. We're very pleased with the results of the Center of Excellence in Sales initiative. That has now transitioned to a sales effectiveness function led by Bernadette Barrow. But you know, not only are we pleased with the sales productivity in the individual business units, but we're delighted with the cross-selling efforts. So at the end of 2019, we now had an increase of 17% in the number of members and clients with a relationship with more than one company in the VM group. So we now have 6,321 members and clients who share a relationship across the group. And so we're very pleased with that. Part of our strong integrated financial group is our strategic investments. And we established in January 2019 a strategic investments team focusing on partnerships led by our Chief Investment Officer, Devon Barrett, and supported by Adam Harris. And they had a first win in 2019. We acquired a 30% investment in shareholding in Caroland, a Barbados-based fintech firm, and that was done through VMIL. Caroland is a peer-to-peer lending firm that uses leading technology to bring together lenders and borrowers on a seamless interface. So they are now operating only in Barbados. We expect Caroland Jamaica to launch by the end of 2020. And then very important to note that in December of 2019, the VM Property Unit Trust portfolio, as well as the VM Pensions, Equity and Real Estate Funds, together acquired 44% controlling stake in Kingston Properties REIT issue. Strong integrated financial group, we spoke about growth. And one business in the VM group that's growing, many are growing, but one that I'd want to lift out for you is VM Money Transfer Services. We have now 92 locations across the island, including sub-agencies, and those include, as I said earlier, 5 wholly owned Money Express locations offering a suite of services, including remittance services, bill payments, DHL, package collection, and so on. And I wanted to just share that, look at this. I invite you to look at this graph, or these two graphs. In 2015, the volumes coming through VM Money Transfer amounted to 88,000 remittances. Last year, they did 330,000 transactions. In 2015, Michael Howard and his team paid out 2.6 billion Jamaican dollars. In 2019, they paid out 11.7 billion Jamaican dollars, right? So we're very proud of that impressive performance by VM Money Transfer. And then we're also very proud of the efforts of the VM Finance UK team, and the board chairman is here, Mr. Matthew Wright. Andrew Evans, who is the head of lending services, with tremendous support from the entire UK team, Leighton Smith, Jane Kerpins-Lee, Donna Brown, and the adjudication team, Clive Newman and his team here, the board of VM Finance, Matthew and Noel Hahn, and so on, did a wonderful job. They disbursed specialized lending loans of 17 million pounds, beating out some of the well-established players in that market. And we're very, very pleased with the quality of opportunities that we're seeing coming through from VM Finance. Excellent work being done there, and the growth has continued into 2020. Our final strategic goal that I'd want to mention is model corporate citizen, and that's primarily executed through our VM Foundation. And the VM Foundation executed a series of projects, programs, and initiatives across three main pillars: leadership and nation building, youth empowerment, health and family. And in terms of leadership and nation building, the National Leadership Prayer Breakfast would be the main activity there. We're also involved in the Governor General Achievement Awards. In terms of youth empowerment, I mentioned earlier the Head Start Scholarship Program, but a very interesting program, the Social Enterprise in Secondary Schools, that is a partnership with the British Council. And we do an Ignite program, financial literacy for young people, those who are tertiary students, and the under-13 football competition, loved by our director, Jeannie Robinson-Foster, in St. James. And health and family, our main activity there last year was the Adopt a Clinic program in partnership with the Ministry of Health, and our adoption is the St. Diego Health Center in Spanish Town. But we're now moving to focus. The board of the foundation, supported by Nakita West, who manages the foundation, is now focused on parenting, the matter of parenting in Jamaica, and helping our young parents to improve. Because, there's no school for parents, right? All of us need the help. And so we want to try to offer some help there. So in 2019, the foundation positively impacted over 110,000 lives, and we invested over $35 million doing that work in 2019. So what about 2020? Well, first of all, I would want to share that we had in February an unfortunate, very, very regrettable incident in VM Wealth with the unintentional distribution of non-financial client information. How have we responded? That incident impacted about 5,000 clients of VM Wealth. We have since implemented restrictions to prevent mass emails to a list of recipients. Emails are now screened as part of our data loss prevention mechanism to identify information which should not be released and to hold the data for the next level approval. And then, above all, we are determined to convert this incident that was in VM Wealth into a positive for the entire VM group. And so we have engaged the best external consultants to provide independent expertise in reviewing our information security protocols. We have actually already received their report and are now implementing the recommendations. In fact, we're aiming at the relevant ISO certification that would confirm our compliance with standard 27001, which has to do with information security management. So we've taken it very seriously, and we're applying the lessons for the entire VM group. We're coming out, we're emerging stronger. Another thing that we need to emerge stronger from is COVID-19. And so we provide a brief update on what we've been doing. First of all, to take care of our members and clients. We have addressed the heightened demand for additional funds. We have, provided moratoriums on existing loans. We have provided top-up loans. We have increased transaction limits for some transactions, those online and so on. And we have implemented, in terms of communication, an X-Source portal on our website filled with relevant information from our members. In terms of our team members, we have really focused on occupational health and safety, enhancing security due diligence, expanded the remote work and rotational programs. An average of 40% of our team members have been working from home since March, and we believe it has worked very well. We were proactive in actually approving a remote work policy from 2018, right? A flexi-time and remote work policy from 2018, and so we were well prepared for this eventuality. And then in terms of managing our internal operations, clearly COVID will have a financial impact on the group. If you think about if our members and clients are impacted, it must flow through to us. We expect to see reduced fee income, compressed net interest margins, credit losses. Clearly, there's need for greater liquidity. We last year benefited from fair value gains in stock market movement. This year, we're likely to have fair value losses, right? So all of those will present a challenge, but the good news is that we have done what is within our control. We have identified some cost-saving initiatives to ameliorate the financial impact. But beyond that, we have also strengthened VM's digital ecosystem to ensure that there's adequate support for team members working remotely by sourcing additional electronic devices. And in addition to that, our ICT and digital transformation units have implemented a whole range of responses to ensure that our service continues to be available to our members and clients. And of course, we have focused on supply chain and resource management because some of our suppliers would have been unable to meet the organization's demand. So we have put contingencies in place, and those have worked very well for us. So members and clients, while responding to COVID-19, we continue to prepare our business for a brighter future. And we start with our people because they are our foundation. Our learning and growth initiatives are the foundation of what we are trying to accomplish as a team, and we continue to work to attract, develop, and retain high potential persons where we believe that we keep strengthening the team. And I'm very pleased with the growth in the team. We have some excellent plans that we believe, in fact, in many respects, VM is already a great place to work. We are focused this year on operational process reengineering, and we have a very ambitious program being led by our new Chief Operations Officer, Nicola Anderson, and she's working with our new Chief Technology Officer, Dalton Richardson over there, to upgrade our IT infrastructure, but very importantly, to re-engineer our processes to deliver better service to you, our members, and a more productive working environment for our team members. And we are continuing to implement our digital transformation. Our Chief Digital Officer is Sheena Wedderburn-Reed, and we have been executing well on that so far, and we expect some very interesting results for you in 2020. In terms of hope for our communities, through our foundation, our focus this year has been on parenting in terms of a new program, and our board at the foundation has been giving good guidance on that. But I wanted to say to you that it's really all about you. The VM Wealth Management and VMBS and VM Pensions Management and VM Property Services, we're all focused on improving your well-being, not only through the financial education, but through new products and services, and making our people more accessible. In fact, this year, RES has ensured that our wealth advisors are more accessible. We used to have wealth advisors in Portmore, Mandeville, and Montego Bay, but since already this year, we have installed wealth advisors in Ocho Rios, in Ligoni, in UTEC, and to come before the end of this year, the people in Savannah Lamar will have their own wealth advisor, and those who bank at Halfway Tree branch as well, so that we're building out our network of wealth advisors. Members and clients, all of these improvements and initiatives are about you. They're about your convenience. They're about your service experiences. They're ensuring that you have the very best information that empowers you to make the best decisions for yourselves, for your families, for your businesses. We are dedicated to your financial well-being. So I would say to you, I have a message that if you are one of the 1 million working Jamaicans without sufficient pension coverage, Victoria Mutual can help you. Please call us. If you are one of the many thousands who don't have an investment portfolio to sustain you against shocks and facilitate your long-term goals, Victoria Mutual can help you. Please call us. If your payout rate for remittances is too low and you wish to receive more Jamaican dollars for your remittances, Victoria Mutual can help you. Please call us and visit us. Right? If you are thinking of purchasing your first home, your second home, your investment property, Victoria Mutual can help you. Please call us. If you have a business that you would like to take to the next level, Victoria Mutual can help you. Please call us. And if you would simply like to start a meaningful saving plan, Victoria Mutual can help you. Please call us. We're here for you. Thank you very much.
Yes. Please call us. Right? You want a loan? Call us. You want an investment? Call us. Savings account? Call us. If you have any problems at VMBS, call him. Thank you, Courtney. That was very well done. I never get tired of hearing about our efforts and our successes. Members, how you feel about your society? Not bad, eh? Pretty good? So let them hear it, man. Let them hear it. I thought that was wonderful, wonderful. We're making progress. So at this time, I'd like to open the floor and the lines for any questions on any subjects, any issues that you have about society, anything that you want to raise. Please do so at this time. We have one?
Yeah, Mr. Gibbs.
Yes, sir. Mr. Gibbs?
Yes, I want to.
Do we have a microphone for Mr. Gibbs right here? Yes. Yes, well, we're streaming, so you have to talk into the mic. Here it is, right in front of you.
First of all, I want to commend the management team on board on the excellent performance for 2019.
Thank you, sir.
Well done. I think it is fantastic. For 2020, we heard from Courtney some of the plans and strategic objectives that you have. But in terms of your financial results, last year was particularly good because of the improvement on equities and so forth, the performance on equities.
Yes.
What is the projection for 2020 in terms of the balance sheet?
Mm-hmm. Well, let me start off. Let me just
It's
start
a
off.
projection, rough projection.
Sure. We can't share the projection with you, but we are batting, and we're batting well. Obviously, we had to make some adjustments in our outlook, and we have done a lot of retrenchment and review, and I think that as I had alluded, the work that we had done in previous years, the reserves that we had built up, stand us in very, very good stead in terms of our liquidity and capital ratios and so on. But I don't know, Courtney, you want to add anything? Well, I think you can speak from there, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I can. Are you hearing me? Yep.
Yeah.
So I think the chairman covered it. The assumptions that we would have used for this year are clearly shattered, right? So what we have focused on is to ensure that we are sufficiently liquid and that we are sufficiently capitalized, right? So ensure that we're meeting our liquidity and capital ratios. And then very importantly, we have identified a whole range of cost-saving initiatives to ameliorate our assumption about what the financial impact could be. And that's why we need to be careful, because we don't know what will be the outcome of the COVID impact on our customers and so on. Some people believe that the worst is to come. Some people believe that the worst is past us. We have to make some conservative assumptions and to plan accordingly. So we have set some targets for cost savings and for some additional revenue items as well, and we're executing against that plan. Clearly, it will be very difficult to surpass last year's performance, and we don't expect that, but we're doing the very best we can. All right?
Good. Yes. I think it's safe to say that none of us have ever been in this particular situation, as unprecedented, as they say. So we just have to use what we've done in the past and our wits about us. And I think, the work that we've done in terms of putting together a management team that Courtney has done with his team, I think that gives us a great deal of confidence at the board. We can sleep well at night because of that team. And so, we're in their hands. Very good.
Sure.
I want us to emphasize the benefits of membership that you had mentioned.
Yes.
You would highlight that for us and what are
Again?
the benefits of being a member of Victoria Mutual.
Okay, so if we could go back to that slide, I would happily take them through it. Can we find that slide? I'll tell you what slide number it is. It's under the modern mutual section. So I just want to have a look at it so we don't miss it.
All right.
It's slide 26.
Free ATMs.
Okay, great. Oh, not 26, 43. All right. Okay, so here it is. We have, first of all, starting on the 50% discount on valuation services, that's offered by VM Property Services Limited. So if you are going to be accessing a mortgage from VMBS, but receiving the valuation to support the mortgage application from VM Property Services, they will offer you a fee that is 50% lower than their normal fee. It's a significant saving. If you think about trying to buy a home, you know, every cent, every dollar matters, right? So if you're going to save on the valuation, because you have to have a valuation. We offer competitive savings rates. In fact, our flagship product there, or premium product, is the iSave, which is an installment saving program, and it offers the very best interest rate for products of its kind in the market, right? So we believe that if you are committed to saving, to that saving program using our iSave account, you will benefit significantly. We have a low mortgage processing fee, and Paul, if you'll remind me what we charge for that. I think we cap our mortgage processing fee at 100,000.
No, we have a 2% mortgage fee, which
Yes.
is lower than a lot of the market, charging up to 3.5% or 4% in some cases.
Right.
But we offer discounts.
You have to repeat for him.
Members,
Okay.
on a case-by-case basis.
Okay, good. So what Paul is saying, for those of you who didn't hear, is that our mortgage fee is 2%, mortgage processing fee is 2% versus most of the competitors offering above 3%. So that's significant saving there. The one we like to talk about, and all of you should know because all of you use the ABM and use the point of sale terminals at gas stations and pharmacies and supermarkets and so on, is that when you use the debit cards of other financial institutions, you pay fees, right? At VM, even when it's not our machine, the transactions are free. Transactions are free. Thank you very much. And so what we actually do, we subsidize because we write a check every month. Janice, our CFO, sends payments over to the other institutions on your behalf. But we do it because you're members, right? Thank Janice. Right? and then discounts on home and motor vehicle insurance, those are offered through BCIC. And again, Judith and the BCIC team worked out a really great package for those who are purchasing motor vehicles with a VM Drive auto loan for them to receive, those customers receive discounts of up to 30%. Scholarships through the VM Foundation, our young savers received 62 savers last year, probably a little more this year, scholarships for high school and university through the VM Foundation. I spoke about the payout rates and, of course, no dormant fees. Some other institutions have now joined us with it, but we were the leaders. So they're following the leader. Who is the leader?
VM.
VM, thank you very much.
Thank you, Courtney. You know, it bears repeating free ABM fees because I think a couple of years ago at the AGM,
yes,
we got a complaint that our ABM fees were just too high. They've been free for 20 years, right? They've been free forever. So, you know, we have to keep repeating those things. So thank you for that, member, to give us the opportunity to highlight those savings and benefits. We have another online question.
Yes, regarding account opening, why do we have account opening requirements as stringent as we do?
Oh, well, no. So members need to understand that as a part of the financial system, certainly we don't set the account opening requirements. There are a myriad of parameters by our central bank and the authorities in the financial sector. And of course, I mean, a lot of them are very, very important because they make sense for ensuring that we don't have nefarious actions going on in our banking system. So I know that we are working hard, Courtney, to try and simplify those. But it is not as simple as just saying, you know what, out with this and out with that. We really have to work within the system, and we have to literally advocate for getting easier account opening requirements, but still staying within the safety measures and safety margins. And as you hear on the news all the time, you know, the criminals are also becoming increasingly more sophisticated with these things. So, you know, we really have to toe the line where that's concerned and think about the balance between efficiency, you know, your convenience, but also your security as well. And so that's the primary reason. Did I leave anything out? No?
We have another question about FATCA law and those members overseas. How does that work?
We need Kerry Gay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask our head of group legal and compliance, who is also our corporate secretary, to address that. Kerry Gay Brown.
Okay, good morning. In relation to the FATCA law, there is a process that we go through with the account opening to verify your residency, because FATCA is a legislation passed by the U.S. government to identify U.S. citizens and residents that may have accounts operating outside of the U.S. So we have a process where we go through, ask for certain information to ascertain whether you are in fact a U.S. person, resident, or citizen. And so we would then vet you and advise you of the requirements that the account will become reportable in accordance with the requirements stipulated by the U.S. And we are part of an international banking system, so it's not that we're trying to adopt U.S. laws in Jamaica, but because we're part of an international banking system, we are required to comply when we have to do cross-border transactions.
Great, thank you very much. And if members have any questions, Kerry Gay, they can reach out to us in our help.
Just through the Member Engagement Center, they are fully aware of the requirements and can guide them through the process.
Great.
Everybody has a question.
Right. So for those numbers, you can go to our website. You'll see those, the member engagement numbers on the website. And please, as Courtney says, call us. Call him. Call Kerry Gay.
Any other questions online?
Okay.
On the floor?
Any from the floor? Okay, we're going to give a few more minutes for that, and then I can wrap up. We have one over here. I'm not seeing because of the column. Oh, she's coming up. Yes. What?
Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I noticed that you guys have a construction loan. I would just like to know what is the requirement of getting a construction loan.
Courtney.
Paul, you could ask you to take that, Paul. Yeah, just use the same.
You want to use the mic? So, yes. I'm sorry, I didn't get your name, ma'am.
Oh, my name is Kerry Tucker.
Kerry. Miss Tucker. All right, just give him some space to use that mic as well. You know, we have to do the social distancing thing, right? Thank you, Miss Tucker. We're going to sanitize. But while we're waiting, Miss Tucker, I like your mask. I'd like one, if you have two. And please remember that we're playing at, it's a Manchester United mask for those who can't see it. And we're playing at 2:15, so. Go ahead, Paul.
I'm tempted not to answer the question.
Don't answer.
But I do like the red anyway.
Red.
For another team. All right. So for Mr. Tucker and any other member looking to build, there are a couple of things you have to look at. Do you have the land already? Are you looking to purchase the land and also get some monies to to build. We can do both. So if you have the land already with the title free and clear, the requirements are pretty much the same. We'll assess you for your ability to repay. Of course, you have to go through the normal things of getting your plans drawn, getting the approvals for all of that. We will, look at the bill of quantities. We will, approve your loan in the normal way, and then we'll do the disbursement based on you working with the QS, to submit to us the stage, construction drawdowns and where you are. So we'll monitor you all the way through, so you don't end up with a, with the property incomplete at the end. So we'll guide you through the process. So it's pretty much the same thing. You will submit to us if you have the land already and ready to proceed, your job letter, your pay slips, all the relevant documentation to prove that you're ready to go ahead, and we'll do that for you. So we just don't do the regular turnkey solutions. We can help you with your construction loans. We can also help you to buy the land and then to build. What's that?
The minimum.
There are really no minimums. I mean, whatever it is that you're looking to borrow, and if you're looking to buy a really, really big house or build a really, fancy property for 50 or 60 million, the key thing is your ability to repay the loan. We do have some restrictions. We're looking at your financial independence, so we don't want you to be spending all of your money to pay for your home. So we typically cap you at about 45% of your income for loan repayment. There can be differences, of course, or values in excess of that, but we look at that on a case-by-case basis. All right? That answers you? All right, so we can talk after this as well? All right, good stuff. Please call us.
Wait, Michael. So, while we sanitize the microphone there, keep everybody safe. Yes, sir, please identify yourself.
A clear example of what I want to ask. You wipe the mic before I speak, and certainly an AGM with a difference. Could you tell your persons and the wider public to what extent have you met the compliance of an AGM on the legal front?
Okay, on the legal front.
You want to answer that, Kerry, or should I take it? Well, for the Victoria Mutual Building Society, the quorum is 30, so we have significantly exceeded that. We have more than 30 here, plus those who are online are properly registered, and they were able to participate in the voting for all the resolutions and to raise questions and so on. So they're full participants in the meeting. We also received the approval of the Ministry of Health for this assembly. They actually vetted, they visited, we did a formal application. They visited on Monday, inspected, gave us the appropriate guidance, and ensured that we're in full compliance. And so I think from both the legal position regarding our rules and how AGMs are convened, as well as the current Disaster Risk Management Act, is that what it's called? We are fully compliant. And we thank JNN for helping it to taking the meeting to those who were not online.
Here. The JSC is about to try something in the courts.
Yes.
To what extent do you think they'll be successful, or do you think that's a matter for Parliament?
Yeah, you know what? We have a lawyer. There are some listed companies who have engaged an attorney. So I think that we actually have a subsidiary that's a listed entity, and that will be affected by that. VMBS is not a company.
It's a mutual.
We're a mutual. So we're not, right. So that's a big difference. All right, thank you.
Okay.
We have one more question.
Yes. Yes.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'd like to ask, how do you access a scholarship from VMBS if you're studying?
Mm-hmm.
You're studying. So we have the scholarship program. We actually promote it on our website. So I think the applications are now open. This is for a child of yours or for you? For you. All right. So we have a limited number of tertiary scholarships. For example, those are advertised on our website. So please visit www.vmbs.com. Huh?
Up to what level do you?
Up to tertiary. We have for secondary education and tertiary education.
In what level tertiary education?
Oh, just first degree, bachelor's, yes. Mm.
Okay, thanks.
Give us your name for me,
The name is Kylie Miller-Thompson.
But, you know, if you're doing a master's and so on, let's talk about how we can help you. Probably there are other ways to achieve that goal, all right? So remember, you have a goal, please call us.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Miller Thompson. Yes? No? Okay. Okay, I think, oh, one more?
Morning, everyone.
Hi,
I'm
identify
Desiree.
yourself, please.
Desiree Buckley.
Desiree Buckley.
I want to ask a question. I'm interested in investing in stocks. Can you shed some light on that for me, please?
Happily. We have a great team.
We have
Where's
Rez here.
Mr. Burtonson, so I'm over here.
I saw the CEO of our investment company.
Our VM Wealth Management team is led by Resworth Burchinson, who is walking across to you, right? So he will ensure that you have a great wealth advisor. But Rez, would you want to say something for all those others who may be watching? Yeah.
Okay. Good morning. I love the interest in equities. So owning stocks in Jamaica is pretty simple. You come in, you open your account with VM Wealth. You are assigned to a wealth advisor. We kind of guide you through the conversation in terms of which stock to choose. Our research team, we do analysis on listed companies every week. Actually, if you go on our website, you'll see analysis of most of the listed companies. Every end of trade, end of day, we send a market update, so lots of information is shared. We have webinars on stocks. Actually, next week, Wednesday evening, we're actually having a webinar, so I can share the information with you afterwards about the local opportunities and also opportunities overseas. But it's pretty simple, and we guide you all through the process. And if you want to invest in equities but don't want to trade directly, you can invest in our managed portfolio, which is our equity fund. And our equity fund, apart from the fallout this year, for the past 3 years, has averaged about 25% per annum. So I'll talk to you afterwards. Clear? Thank you.
Thank you, Rez. One more?
Yes, we have questions from downstairs, but to the member who wants more wealth information, we also have a VM Wealth representative here, so you can speak with her after the meeting and get some further information. We have questions from downstairs. We will be streaming.
Go ahead.
Top of the morning, Tashima Campbell here. Top of the morning again, Tashima Campbell here. I'd like to know if there is a legal ramification as it relates to changing your number. I would have had my account number since high school, and I was adding my better half to my account, and I was told that number has to be changed, and now I don't know that number out of my head because I would have known my old number for a while. Is there some legal ramification as to why it has to be changed for that reason?
Thank you. Thank you. We'll get an answer for you. I think we might want to do that offline though. I mean, yes. So I think we'll have somebody come down and talk with you and answer that question directly, because it's a very specific question.
We have another question.
Sure.
I think go ahead.
What is the best investment at VMBS in terms of interest rates and all that?
That would be here at VMBS. However, we can tell you that I think we have them beat. Again, Paul, maybe we can have somebody go down and have a chat with that member.
Yes, we have team members who can assist.
Thank you. All right. And members, if you see me on the phone, it's not that I'm bored. I'm trying to tweet at the same time so we can get a little more. Yes, sending pictures and so on. Right. So. Anybody else? Are we there? Okay. Yes, wrapping up on the question. Yes? Okay, thank you very much, members. Those questions are important to us. Your feedback is important to us. So we relish this part of the AGM. This year, we're not quite at our full complement. Normally, it's like a political rally, right? But here it's like a tea party. But we are very, very pleased that you could join us at some risk to yourself, obviously, because we are all together here. So we really appreciate the show of support in the room, as well as going online, because obviously, it's not as simple. We're not as familiar with that part. So we really appreciate the members who took the time out to get online and join us for our first hybrid meeting, because we've been streaming for years, but this is the first time I think we had digital voting and so on. So that's great. And in that mode, I would like to thank the production team for this, the CAC department, Corporate Affairs and Communications, under Clover Moore. I don't know where Clover is. Clover, thank you very much. I also wanted to thank our group board secretary, Miss Kerrigan Brown. You heard from her a while ago because she also is our head of group legal and compliance. But I wanted to thank her particularly because you have to have a lot of patience when dealing with our board members. Not the chairman, but the other board members, right? So I wanted to just single her out and thank her for her role as well. And the team members, of course, all our team members, but more importantly, our team members' family. Is that how you say it? Because, well, we know that we had to ask a number of people to work from home during this period. And we know that could be quite taxing and required sacrifice on behalf of the families. And we want to know that we appreciate you as a part of the team as well. So thank you very much for that as well. And then lastly, to all our members, we thank you for a year of support, and we thank you for your ongoing attention and interest in the Victoria Mutual Group. And we urge you to remain with us as we go through our financial journey together. Thank you very much, and we'll see you again next year. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, having concluded all the items on our agenda, I'd like to ask for any other business. There being no further business, I now move for the termination of the 141st Annual General Meeting of the Victoria Mutual Building Society. Seconded from Jeannie. All in favor? All against? This meeting is now terminated. Please stay safe, and thank you very much again.
We're winning right now. If we get a trophy to what we're living right now, cause I'm winning right now, yeah. And I'm chilling right now. Oh, we're winning right now. On Thanksgiving right now, cause we're winning right now, yeah. I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. Hey, watch out now. Hey, I'm a walking W. Learn from the L's. Turn them in a medal in a trophy and bells. Every day you see me with them on our next film. Break records like we cracking eggshells. And every single ounce of effort we expel. It's all